What's happening, Alley Cats? It is that time once again. That's right, we are gonna go head out in to the wild blue yonder, hit up some thrift stores, and see what pieces of nostalgia we can find and save, or at least document. That's right, it is time for some
retro thrifting.
And we are just a little early to our first stop, the old Goodwill. How long do they have to open? Okay, 10 minutes, oh god. Oh, thankfully, we made our way in, and there are a ton of VHS tapes here. Not a lot of great stuff. I'm seeing a lot of fishing tapes. Here's a Hollywood video. Let's see what we got here. No box, unfortunately. And it's Talented Mr. Ripley, so I should probably buy it just to throw it in the garbage, but that's fine. What do we got? Once again, Muskies, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, workout videos. Nothing super, super exciting. Oh, it's another Muskie video. Okay. Well, here's at least something interesting. We got Rhinestone. I wouldn't mind being the meat in that sandwich, if you know what I mean. Ooh. Now this is a little more interesting. I love, as you know, all these little retro boom boxes. This is a little smaller unit with the detachable speakers. Pretty cool. It's one I haven't seen around before, which is nice. And this guy caught my eye. I didn't know what it was. It's got like linoleum on the top. I don't know if that's what you'd call it, but it is a really neat old kind of built-in record, not built-in record player, but like a kind of all-in-one portable record player. It's got the speaker built in. It's kind of built to travel. It's got the latches on the side, the handles. It's pretty neat. And this obviously is going to catch my eye. Something old, something Disney. And it is a bunch of cassette tape Storytime books, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. I say pretty cool a lot. I don't know if you've noticed that. And speaking of not at all cool, here's some gigantic radio headphones from I don't know when. I guess maybe 70s, but maybe early 80s. They are beasts, and they're so ugly I kind of want them. And check this out. Probably one of the most sturdy built Polaroid cameras I've ever held in my hand. This thing was, I don't know if this was expensive back in the day. I'd have to look up the model, but it is built, like if there was ever such a thing back in the day as a professional Polaroid camera, this would be it. And another adorable little jam box. I just cannot get enough of these things, and I've been finding a handful, or not a handful, but a lot of really cool ones. And then here's another one of those 8mm film viewers, like I showed off a few episodes ago. Obviously the one I picked up the other day was much nicer than this, but I love that retro look, aesthetic. And speaking of a retro look, we've got this big ol' kind of all-in-one stereo system from, I'm guessing, the 80s. What do you think makes me think that this is from the 80s, right? And then there's this, the projector camcorder transfer system, where you stick a projector in one end, you stick a camcorder in the other, and you record onto your camcorder. I had one of these back in the day and actually transferred a lot of my family's old home movies that way. And these I thought were going to be reel-to-reel tapes, but instead they turned out to be 8-tracks, which is, I'm not going to say pretty cool, I'm going to say awesome. Academy Award-winning songs in really, really good shape, probably entirely because they were stored in these boxes. 8-tracks are just so hard to find in good working order. Got some George Jones here. He is a Great guy, but looks like a teddy bear. Alright, let's get moving on down the road to Ark's Value Village. It's been a while since I've been here, and oh boy, they've got a lot of VHS tapes. If you were starting a VHS collection, this would be the place to come. They are loaded for bear with lots and lots of fun stuff. Mostly all common stuff, stuff I have, stuff that's not really worth showing, but some weird things. This is from Rhino. Got a Jackie Chan movie with probably the most creative cover I've ever seen. Arnold, starring Roddy McDowell. I don't know what that is. You've got The Long Kiss Goodnight, Gina Davis, Samuel L. Jackson. Once again, there's a sandwich I wouldn't mind being the meat in. Do you understand what I'm getting at? Mary Riley. And a little further down the road, I found this box of kids' VHS tapes, which, so far, at least on the surface, we got a Olsen twins crust on our planet here. Let's dig a little deeper. Hopefully we find something else. We don't. It's basically all Olsen twins. Looking through the games, there's always something interesting to find in the games, and yes, this is no exception. NSYNC, is this a board game? No, it's not. It is the most terrifying Justin Timberlake doll I've ever seen in my entire life. And, oh, don't worry, the nightmare continues because there's a Lance Bass figure to go with it, and it is equally as terrifying. Ark's Value Village sucked. I stopped at another Goodwill down the street, and that sucked, so we're stopping at a Half Price Books. Hopefully, we don't get let down. Let's go. Well, first we gotta check these laser discs, and there's plenty of good stuff to see here. Shockingly, though, nothing that I don't already have on Laserdisc. I mean, I don't have these, but I'm not gonna buy West Side Story. Sorry, but any of these movies that are of interest, I do already have. And what's this I see? Yes, that is right. Oh my God! It's Gargoyles Tiger handheld. $10 is a little more than I like to spend on this kind of thing, but like I have to, right? We got some Sega CD, $20. I'm not super keen on that. I'm a little more interested in this Krusty's Funhouse, though. It's a game I've been trying to pick up actually for the Super Nintendo, complete in box, and it's been kind of hard to find. Some NES games, Skate or Die 2. I'm interested. Can you tell by the way the camera popped in? WrestleMania Challenge. There's, you know, especially what's outside the case at Half Price Books is usually not very exciting, but there's some decent stuff here. Some good Game Gear games, the Jurassic Park, the X-Men, Sonic. They're a little more than I am looking to spend on this kind of stuff, but I do still have a couple games. Oh, why are they following me? Mortal Kombat. But I do want to pick up more Game Gear games. That's something that I'm pretty lacking in. My collection probably has like 4, I think, tops. But unbelievable. Get away from me, girls. Thankfully, though, Half Price Books has some decent VHS tapes to look at. We've been kind of striking out. We've been hitting the quantity, but we have been striking out on quality. We got some weird anime tapes. Thankfully, I think our luck is about to turn around in the quality department. Spoiler alert. I'm about to find some... Spoiler alert, I filmed this ahead of time, and I'm doing voiceover after, so I know I actually find good things. Hellraiser, great one. I already have it, but still super cool. Python. Casper Van Dien. I'm listening. Of course, you got Candyman. I don't know if I own Candyman on VHS already. Spoiler alert, I do now, because I bought it. Little martial arts action. Surprising amount. This, I gotta say, this has been The Breed, sorry, not Breeders. That is a whole different movie. I've been kind of striking out on the VHS front, so it was nice to come in here and be pleasantly surprised. This is a great, dirty old fly case. You got some naked Jeff Goldblum there for you ladies and some of you guys. You got The Temp with Lara Flynn Boyle. Another movie, I remember the commercials for that movie being all over the place when it came out. La Femme Nikita, a new kind of lethal weapon. I'm listening. And then I found this, Really Weird Tales. It's like all the old SCTV people, John Candy, Martin Short, Joe Flaherty, Catherine O'Hara. I'm assuming, I haven't watched it yet, but I'm assuming it's related to SCTV in some way. If you don't know, that's like the Canadian SNL. And then check this out, Bad Lieutenant, Harvey Keitel. I'm assuming, because I know a Nick Cage movie just came out in the last few years, a blockbuster tape. A Nick Cage Bad Lieutenant. I'm guessing that's a remake of this movie, if I have to guess. And then, ooh da lolly, we've got ourselves a Twin Peaks box set. Now that would look really nice sitting on my VHS shelf, if I do say so myself. Maybe. And just for silly laughs and giggles and goofs and gaffs, we've got a Bart Simpson phone that I thought I'd show off to you. Eyes flash when ringing. I don't, looking at it, I don't understand how you talk into it, how you pick it up. I mean, I guess you just pick him up and it answers the phone. I don't know. And then a Captain America novel from way back in the day, Holocaust for Hire. Just the cover alone is just incredibly cool. And finally, talking about the Space Jam. I may have just made that song up. That's right, McDonald's Space Jam plush figures still in the original packaging. So there you go, that's another round of retro thrifting. Before I go though, as always, there's a handful of things, just a few things, that I forgot to film or couldn't film, whatever reason I didn't get to show it to you, so figured I'd show those last couple things off here. Number one, we've got Sky Shark for the Nintendo, or the NES, or the NES, however you like to say it. But I got it for $1 from Half Price Books, and it ain't a great game, but for $1 I figured it's worth that. Then we got a few VHS tapes to show off. That's right. Right off the bat, I don't remember if you could see it in this video, but I forgot to film Batman the movie, the old 60s Batman, and I was super excited to find this because that cover is a cover I have very distinct memories of from back in my video store going youth, so that was very cool to find. It's a very fun old movie. If you haven't bothered to sit down to watch it, I highly recommend you do. It's very funny. It's very, I think the 60s Batman show and this movie, I think they were much more aware of how silly and how campy what they were doing was. I think a lot of people kind of think they're laughing at the show. Like they think like, oh, this is so stupid. But I think the people making the show kind of knew what it was too, and they're sort of laughing at you for laughing at the show. It's a whole thing. But I really think they were in on the joke the whole time. The movie especially really feels like it. Here's a little classy number that I hope to review on the channel at some point. It is LL Cool J in Out of Sync. I don't know what this movie is, but it's LL. Some girl, she's got a gun. It's got graffiti. Looks cool. Never heard of it, so I'm excited to watch it. And finally, what is perhaps the, for me, the most exciting tape that I've found lately, and that is WrestleMania 9. That's right. I already have this on VHS. I have I think it's 1 through 15, if I remember right. It might even go a little later than that, I forget. But it was a collection of WrestleManias. But all of them have really boring VHS covers. This is an awesome cover, and I think it's actually the cover from probably when this was first released. It says 1993 on the back, and it does not have any other dates. So I think this is from literally when WrestleMania 9 came out. And I don't care. A lot of people don't. I'm gonna turn into a wrestling fan for a second. I'm gonna talk to the other wrestling fans for just a second. A lot of wrestling fans think WrestleMania 9 was a really bad WrestleMania. I'm in the minority in that. I think WrestleMania 9 is actually one of my personal favorite WrestleManias. So the fact that that's the one that I happen to find is cool. Kind of feels like destiny, you know, density. It has become a part of the collection. It was saved from the compost. I guess people wouldn't compost a VHS tape, would they? It was saved from the landfill. How about that? All right. That's it. I've wasted enough of your time for tonight. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. I will catch all you alley cats on the flip side. Bye-bye. Look at that camera shake. It's an earthquake.